Okay, yes, thank you for that very kind introduction, Cassandra. So yeah, my name is Dr. Fuschia Sirois, and I'm going to be giving you some insights into, from an academic perspective, how we view procrastination, its problems, and also its causes, and what we can do about it. So as Cassandra mentioned, I am Canadian. I'm originally from Canada. I've been in the UK since 2015. And I study a number of factors. I look at sort of two sides of the coin of risk and resilience factors in terms of factors that can create vulnerability for poor health and well-being, as well as those that can help bolster physical health and well-being. And among those factors are procrastination, which I'm going to be speaking to you about today, perfectionism as well. I'll say a little bit about that. And then the resilience factors that can help address these risk factors are self-compassion, again, something I'll speak to you about today, but I also look at things such as gratitude and time orientation, but I won't have time to get into those today. Okay, and this is a book that we edited from some leading scholars in the field back in 2016. There are different perspectives on the implications of procrastination for health and well-being. Okay, so just to outline what I'm going to speak to you about today, we're going to first look at what is and isn't procrastination and why it's a problem, then why and when people procrastinate, how procrastination is linked to perfectionism, and most importantly, I'm sure many of you will be interested in how can we actually reduce procrastination. So when we think about procrastination, we think about this thing tomorrow, right? We're putting something off to later. We're saying, I'll do it tomorrow. And, you've probably seen this sort of saying or meme before. It's like, tomorrow's this mystical land where 99% of all human productivity, motivation, and achievement is stored. But when we research procrastination, we take a very formal view of what it means. So, the word itself comes from Latin, basically of tomorrow. But we've had to, over the years, researchers who work in this area have had to come up with a definition that makes it really clear what is and isn't procrastination. So it is a type of delay, but it's a very specific type of delay. And it's a delay that's unnecessary, right, and voluntary. So if you had to put aside, studying for an exam, for example, because a family emergency came up, that actually would not be classified as procrastination. And if you decided to wait to work on that paper that you were writing because you didn't have all the information to actually move forward with it, that would be considered a necessary delay. That would actually be considered a wise delay because you're not quite ready to start working yet. And that's not actually procrastination either. And the third ingredient of procrastination that's really key is that it's the sort of delay that happens when we know somewhere in the back of our minds that this delay is going to have negative consequences. Okay. So more recently, too, myself and my colleague Tim Pitchell at Carleton University have put forward this idea that procrastination is all those things, but it's also about prioritizing short-term mood repair, trying to feel good now rather than thinking about what the long-term consequences of that are, especially in terms of reaching our goals. Okay, but I'll talk more about that a little bit later. Okay, so as I said, procrastination is a form of delay, right? By definition, what we just said, it involves delay, but it's a very specific type of delay, as I've just highlighted. So if we sort of put this into more of a philosophical kind of equation here, all procrastination is delay, but not all delay is procrastination, right? And so there's a number of reasons why we might delay something, and that doesn't mean we're procrastinating. So I think it's really important to be clear when, just because we delayed something, stop and think, do I have a good reason to delay this? Is it a necessary delay? Is my delay because somebody else told me to delay? If those things are happening, then you're not actually procrastinating, and you can kind of let yourself off the hook from feeling bad about that particular delay. So I think it's really important to jump in and sort of say, is this delay really procrastination or not before you start, having some potentially negative feelings about yourself and the task and what else is going on. Now we know it's a very common problem in the adult population, affects about 15 to 20% of adults, but much more concerning is that 80 to 95% of college and university students engage in procrastination at some point or another in their academic life, and 50% do so on a fairly regular, consistent basis. So this is quite concerning. It's something that is going on quite a bit. As we'll see shortly, there's a number of problems that go hand in hand with that as well. It occurs across a number of multiple life domains. Obviously, academics is going to be of most interest for many of you, but also it can affect, later when you get jobs and that, it can affect your work and your productivity. It can have implications for your mental health and your physical health.